There we go. Again, this is the split 4-4 clinic versus the run. Before we get started, want to like to thank Coach Rob and the group at Coaches Clinic to provide this forum for coaches to get together and talk about football. Also like to thank Clark Wilkins and all the contributors over at Coaches-Clinic.com. Great website for youth coaches to visit and learn stuff. Also like to thank Blessed Trinity High School in Roswell, Georgia, and the Junior Titan staff for allowing me to coach with a very talented group of people. And then most of all, I'd like to thank my wife and my family for letting me play football coach during the fall. So for tonight, what I'd like to do is just give you a quick overview of the split 4-4, go through the position techniques and the coaching points for each of the position groups, and we'll look at the defensive tackles, ends, linebackers, and the secondary. We'll just kind of go over the secondary quickly. We'll spend most of the time with the front 8. Look at formation adjustments against common fronts in the youth game, talk about run fits, and then we'll go to video at the end, and hopefully have enough time at the end to have a question and dialogue at the end. Overall, split 4-4 is based on the concepts of the wide tackle 6 and split 6 defenses and the 4-4 defense. Particularly at the youth level, I kind of think of it as a wide tackle 6 on steroids. It's basically the same principles. It's excellent alignments and angles for stunning and overloading blocking schemes. The amount of stunts and blitzes you can run from the alignment is limitless. The unusual spacing and alignments of the 7 technique and the inside linebackers stacked behind the tackles creates blocking confusion. It's a defense that the team doesn't see every week, particularly now because it's really kind of an old-timey defense. The split front allows you to be multiple without any significant investment of practice time, so you can be in a wide tackle 6 look on the front side and a split 6 look or a stack look on the back side. So and get into a bare front, a lot of different fronts you can get into without any additional investment of practice time. And it's really effective at the lower levels where offenses, I think, are still 85% run oriented. Just real quick, I think with any defense, you got to understand what the strengths and weaknesses are. For the split defense, the strengths, obviously, it's an 8-man front versus the run. It's really strong off tackle and outside, and against the outside option game. It really lets the inside linebackers play run because the number 2 receiver, the tight end, most of the time is always controlled vertically, so he doesn't have to worry about getting to the hook zone or vertical zone to pick up that linebacker, so he can really play run aggressively, and then just you get really outstanding stunt and blitz angles. The weaknesses of the defense, it's weaker inside than out, so you need to have a plan on how you're going to defend the trap and wedge and things like that. It's not that it can't do those things, but you really got to know what you're doing to coach up those weaknesses. 4 verticals, that's primarily not so much the defense itself. It's just with any defense running cover 3, you've got the issue with 4 verticals. And then since the 7 technique linebackers is sitting on the tight end, the strong side flat can be an issue, so you need to have a plan for that. And then again with cover 3, any kind of flood concept. So those are mainly weaknesses of the coverage more than the front itself. I'm going to be using some terms during the clinic tonight, so I just want to kind of cover when I say certain things, kind of what the definitions are. So, I think with any run defense, no matter what defense you're playing, I think you need to have these 7 things need to be covered. One is contain. Who sets the edge of the defense? He's the person responsible for outside in support, setting the edge of the defense, takes on any lead blockers on sweeps and options, and is generally playing first threat against the option, which is usually the quarterback or the pitch. Secondary contain is the widest man in the defense by alignment, and they can never let the ball outside, never let the ball outside of them, and its secondary support on the run is always outside in, and usually in this defense it's going to fall to the cornerbacks. The alley defender is going to fill inside, contain if the ball cuts up, and they're playing quarterback to pitch. And in the split defense, it's usually the responsibility of the free safety be that alley support player. The force player is the squeeze is responsible for squeezing the outside in and the off tackle hole on the play inside, and then inside out support on the wide play. And he's also playing first threat versus the option again, which is quarterback or pitch. And in the split defense, that's generally the Sam linebacker or the 7 technique. So he's responsible for the C gap, and then he's squeezing the C gap and then playing inside out on the wide play. Trail responsibilities is the person or player is responsible for bootleg, counter, and reverse when ball goes away. The cutback player is responsible for the ball when it starts away, make sure that they don't overrun it and look for the cutback by the running back. And then the deep pursuit is the last man in the pursuit pattern in case the play breaks long. It's really important they take the right angle pursuit on that. So those are the kind of seven roles that when we get into run fits later in the clinic, we'll cover off on each one of those versus various plays.